Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Finally, we're gonna do an overnight in a teepee. I'm not sure what the temps are gonna get down to. It's supposed to be down in the 30s, mid 30s. Don't really know how cold it's gonna get. We'll check that app on our phone and see sometime through the night or early in the morning. But I'm gonna build a fire out here, cook on this Nessmuk range. And I have come down here and made some prep earlier today. In other words, I've cut some firewood. I've got a gallon of water that's with me. I've made some preparations, so we're not really roughing it. We just wanted to come camping. So we've got some pretty good food. We got some deer steak. We're gonna cook. I got a whole dozen eggs because they was easy to get. I was picking up out of the chicken pen, and I just got a carton and filled it up and brought it with me. I brought all that down here in the buggy earlier today. And I've got a full skillet. I'm not gonna try to do bush pot like what I would tote. We'll do all of that at some point. But we're just gonna have an enjoyable night down here. It's just me and Roscoe. Because it's a little cool to get Brody. I don't know how this tent's gonna function in cold weather. One thing I did realize I forgot is I didn't bring any seasoning. I may trek back to the house. I'm not no god awful long ways from the house. And I may go back up there and get some seasoning. I would like to have some Tony's or some of that Camp Dog or something to put on my... I'm one of them one seasoning, salt, everything. And I've got some homemade seasoning. So I don't know. I may run back up there eventually and get that. But I've got some wild field garlic, and I've got some onions that I grew. So we're just gonna have a good time. We're not too awful far from where we can do some fishing maybe. I've got my Ode Pro light. We may do some Predator. I got my 22 rifle. I don't know what we're gonna get into tonight. We're just gonna kind of what I call hammer hack around and just have a good time, make some coffee. We may not do nothing but sit here and watch a fire roar. So hang with us, and we'll see what transpires through the rest of this video. I'm gonna let this burn down till it's a good bed of coals. I'm gonna probably bust up a few more bigger sticks of wood and lay on it, and walk back here and let's see if we can make a crappie bite. And look, just spend a little time. I'm gonna probably let it get dark before I cook. I did go back to the house and got me some seasoning. Now actually, yeah, you can't go by a label with me what's in something. Started off, it was about yay much, about to that deep of oddness stuff I'd mixed up. There was some herbs in there, like some herbs we had grew in a herb bed. I had ground up and mixed in there, and I don't even know exactly what else, basil and this, that, and the other. There was some salt and pepper and all. Well, then I just topped it off with that Kemp dog that I was sent. I think Dwayne's the one sent it to me. I have to look, y'all. I get mixed up. But anyway, so we're going to do a one season. I am a huge fan of take one seasoning with you and put it on everything, okay? This is not Kent Rollins gourmet cooking. This is let's make it taste decent and make it fit to eat. And you put all of what you like. Usually I mix a lot of garlic, salt, lemon pepper together in there, and then some basic salt and just whatever I like. And I mix it all together because you're going to put it all on what you're cooking anyway. So we've got that to season our food with. I did bring, and y'all, this is not an expensive bag. Let me turn this down just a little bit, because I am going to go out and take this little mini pole and walk around and back here at this my neighbor's duck pond and just throw it and see what'll bite. The weather's been cold and up and down, and the fish are not biting real good this week. I have talked to a bunch of people that is fishing. You can catch a fish. I packed a board in here. This is gonna stay down here, so that is why I brought the big bag, because I don't even have a sleep system in here. All my cover and sleeping bags is in this tent, and everything I brought in here is gonna stay in this tent. I may take a sleeping bag home, but a lot of them blankets and stuff I'm gonna leave down here. So this cutting board will go in the tent, and it's gonna stay down here. I brought a gallon of water. It's gonna stay down here as I use it. It keeps me from having filtered water. I brought a proper plate. It's gonna probably stay in the tent. Just, there's a skillet that's gonna stay in there, and I did bring some of my bushcrafting stuff. Y'all know I really love that bushcrafting terminology. But anyway, I did bring my canteen with me, and I may take this bag with me when I walk back. I put one of my big dry bags in here. I do have a food bag and then my survival bag. Just kind of go over some of what I keep with me. A lot of my main stuff. I brought another extra blanket. Y'all, I don't know how cold it's gonna get. And look, Roscoe needed a blanket. Y'all didn't expect me to come down here and not bring Roscoe something to sleep in. So that's gonna go up in the tent too and stay. And that's all that's in there right now. And a lot of that stuff was just backup. So I didn't really come like backpacking, and I do have some extra bullets for I brought my rifle because I might want a predator hunt, but right now we just gonna take what we got. Now up here, I did bring my Ode Pro light, headlight, but this thing here has a light, and I've got this, this is the new one. This is not the review on it. We just may play with it. Brought some tin foil to cook some potatoes in. I got my leather gloves. I got my camp eatery utility tool. So anyway, I'm gonna put this light in my pocket because I do have a pistol. And we're gonna walk back here. I've got a few jigs and whatnot in my pocket. I'll show you my tackle. This is the consistency of my tackle. So that's all I need for what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna leave all this stuff right here. So I'm gonna zip it up, put it over here out of the way. Let's take the fish pole, go for a walk. I'm gonna throw a few more big pieces of wood on this fire, and we're gonna go walk around. sometimes you wonder why people do a certain thing. You remember this piece of bank line? Well, that's finna be my fish stringer. We're gonna cook us a crappie over the fire here after a while. I thought that being the temperature dropped, I tried to come catch these crappie 2 or 3 times in the last couple of weeks after it warmed up. They out in the shallow. You can't get to them, can't catch them. Well, after it got cold here, well, they decided that they was gonna come back to this deeper water where I can reach them. So, but that is why I carry this string with that little carabiner on it. It is so I can I'll just loop it through like that, and I'll tie it to something right here and drop them in the water. They're not really wanting a jig that I have got. So let me lay this in here, and I am going to try one of these. I know to try this because it says good on it. That's how you know when to try bait. If it's got that right on there, you can try it. We got one fish, but that's one we didn't have. Well, y'all, we got coffee over here percolating. And this cook range I have redone. I brought a grate with me. I kind of modified it to make it a little more convenient. But I will say it's cooking a little hot like it is. So I had to raise this up on 2 sticks to kind of get me a little elevation. And you see I got me a fish. And I put a little bit of oil in there. So what I'm gonna do is put some of this seasoning that I've got right here with me on it. And I've got some deer meat we're gonna cook here shortly. I have got some potatoes, and I didn't bring no, that's probably a lot of seasoning, but it don't matter to me. I need to get my potatoes, one of them anyway. There we go. Y'all, took me a minute to find more tinfoil. Now what I done saved me some tinfoil off of something I done. So I'm gonna just go right here. So what I'm gonna do is just wrap this tater right here, and then before I get it all the way wrapped up, I'll kind of fold these ends over and then wrap it on up. And over here on this other end, it ain't quite as hot. I'm just gonna lay it right down in there. It ain't too hot, and let it cook right there. So y'all, I had to get some lights and rig them up. I got my old lantern down here, and I can see what I'm doing, but you can't see me to film with it. So I'm just cooking. Me and Roscoe's sitting here, and he ain't wanting to get over here on camera. He's right here with me though. There y'all can see him now. But we having a good time. Of course, I let it get dark. I like to piddle around and fish in the woods and meddle around on and look. Before I get over here and go to cooking, so it's always dark when I start cooking. So I'm not gonna film a whole lot tonight. You see we got a fire going, you see we cooking, and I may film a little bit when I get my steak out and start cutting it up and cook it. But we got this one fish. I got some deer steak, and I'll save some of my deer steak now till in the morning and have it with my eggs. I got several eggs and some onions and stuff. As a matter of fact, y'all see my cutting board here. While I got everything here, I wanted to cut some of these onions up. So anyway, I'm gonna cut these up real good, and I'm gonna rake them off in my That'll help that right there now. I'm gonna fool around and wished I'd brought me a spatula. One of the reasons I kind of favor a big knife Alright, I'm gonna go ahead while y'all here looking. Try to be fast about some of this, because I know y'all get tired of watching. And I'll try to edit some of this smearing around, I call it, out. Now, I'm gonna cut me a couple of fairly thick steaks. We didn't come down here to go hungry, y'all. We're gonna cook us 3 of them fine steaks. Now it'll be cold enough tonight that I think that meat will be all right out here. I'll put it up there where Roscoe don't get it while I'm napping here after a while. We're gonna crawl up, we're gonna transfer the fire here a little bit into the tent, or teepee. I've got a fire pit in there, and I better put the lid down. Boy, y'all, that is gonna be fine cuisine right there. You see, we cooked that with the head and all on there. And it is done. I am thinking about just eating this right out of the skillet. Get us a bite of this right here. Gotta watch for them bones. Oh man. But now you know I'm gonna say oh man, cause it don't matter at this point. We down here in the woods, we're cooking and eating. And y'all, it's gonna be good don't matter what you do. Man. But it really is good. Them little bitty bones is what's gonna be. Oh yeah. We ever get them coals down, I'm gonna put them steaks on, eat them after a while. So I pulled this grate all the way down to this end, and I'm gonna lay my steaks way down here. Y'all, I don't want them to cook too god awful fast. That deer meat, y'all know how that stuff is, man. And that's hot down there now. Y'all don't realize probably how hot that little grill fire is. This is a heck of a way to cook now. I spreaded it open just a little bit where I could put more wood in there, and y'all, that joker gets hot now. This is an amazing little deal to cook on, so we'll talk more about it in the morning. I'm gonna cook my steaks and eat them and drink my coffee. I got some coffee black enough that you can stand a nail up in it. And we get ready to get in there. I'll show you a little bit inside the tent here in a little bit, and then we'll pick you back up in the morning. I might as well burn the hair off my tongue right here on camera. Y'all, that's fine right there. And that is cooked just right. It ain't tough. I'm having to do this one-handed, but watch. See, that ain't that tough. That's the way that's supposed to be. Y'all, while me and Roscoe's sitting here eating this deer steak, one of the reasons, y'all, that I like this knife is it is only a 1/16 of an inch thick. And I'll tell you why that is important. I know a lot of people want a big old knife, but they use it like a fro. But you see how you take that meat and you stick it with that fork and you want to cut in between, you see that? Them big old knives won't do that. And I think eating a steak is a lot more important than trying to split firewood. Come here, Roscoe. Roscoe, come here. There you go. He's getting to eat deer steak too, y'all. That's what we fighting, y'all. Notice that down low to the ground, it's not too bad. I'm just gonna kind of pan around, and I have to use a front facing camera because it's got the light on there. And Roscoe, y'all see him, he's curled up in there. He likes to be under the cover. I'm scared he's gonna push you. I'm scared he's gonna push your sleeping bag. I'm using it just as an overquilt. It's a big, thick, cheap. I got this at a thrift store. I bought another at a thrift store the other day for the summer that's a lot compacts down. This one don't compact down real good. But we just using it for a blanket. And I'm going to leave it in here more than likely. It's going to be so smoked up. But down low, it's not too bad. And I'm probably going to just let the fire die out, because we've got it pretty warm in here. And there'll be a bed of coals, and the ground's warm now, so I think we'll be all right. If it gets too bad, I get to choking. The smoke is like right here. I can see it, but I've got air coming in. Basically, what it's doing is it's staying up to the top of the door, so I may have to cut that out some. One thing, we got to open the top up some more, and I don't have a way to do that. I'm going to have to bring a ladder down here, open that top up, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully I won't die tonight with smoke inhalation. So glad I don't smoke them old cigarettes. Oh, I used to. Can't tolerate much of that smoke. I like fresh air. Well, y'all, we slept good last night. Now, I mean, like anywhere else, I woke up several times. One time I woke up was a little unnerving. There was a coyote cutting up, y'all, that was less than 50 yards. I mean, he was right here. And I eased my hand over on my pistol, and I just laid there and watched the door. I said, if he's stupid enough to stick his head in here, it'll be all she wrote now. I'm going to cut this deer meat up right here in some small pieces to cook with my eggs. But the smoke problem wasn't too bad. We're going to have to do some stuff to try to remedy that. And this is not coffee oil, you know that, but that is a bottle I use because it's got that flip lid. That's that old hazelnut stuff you put in your coffee there. We'll let that be warming up on before we throw our meat in there. I'm sure Roscoe he's probably mighty nigh starving. Boy, this meat's colder than it would have been if it had been in the refrigerator. Now, I have not looked to see what the temperature got down to. I'll check that in just a minute. I'm sure somebody is curious about that. And no, this is not like some of them do that camp out in that snow and all that. I ain't considered cold weather camping, but we were comfortable. I had plenty of blankets and such as that. I have got to cut all this gristle looking stuff. Roscoe may want that right now. You think that'd be fitting to eat? He said he'd eat it. Well, that's all gristle there too. Here, you eat that. Here, don't lick my finger now. Folks frown on that. I'll have to watch, that'll get hot fast. Trying to peel this bottom part of that onion off. This field garlic, y'all, is a little tougher than the onions. I like the flavor of it. Thing here, I just kind of throwed it up there. I'll go ahead and rake that in there before it starts. I wanted to use some of you can tell the difference, or I can at least, in the onions. See, these onions were in clumps. That's these old multiplying onions. These onions are a lot more tender. You can tell that just by cutting on them. My potato, I don't think it ever cooked last night. I'm gonna get this over here. We're gonna have to get the coffee over in flames. Get it boiling. For I'm about ready for a cup of coffee. Y'all, these eggs is fresh right out of the chicken yard. What do you say about one more? Half dozen eggs. We'll leave a half dozen down here for the next time. Camp Dog. Well, y'all, this might not have turned out to be the best video. I wish I'd have got down here and done all my supper cooking before dark, but I wanted to ramble around, do some things. We're getting our breakfast cooked this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video while I'm drinking my coffee. It's taking a little while to make. I set it on that grate right there and keep it warm. But thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. I hope y'all enjoyed this.